formula. Woohoo! I don't know how to use it. I have no idea. Finish up. 30 more seconds or less. Get your phones put away. Drop your phone back in your backpack. So today we're talking about being able to plan for your financial future. Today we're learning a formula, or learning how to use a formula that will allow us to predict or compute how much money we need to deposit now so we have enough money or have a desired amount of money in the future, right? We actually have already worked with the formula. The formula that we worked with yesterday does that. The formula, the compounding interest formula does that as well. Today we're going to learn a formula, learn how to use a formula that instead of having just one amount that we deposit, we could decide to say deposit $100 a month, or $100 a quarter, or $1,000 a year, something like that. It's the same amount at periodic intervals. Do you need something? Okay. So if we have an instrument to help us figure out how much we need to deposit in order to have a certain amount of money in the future, that could be helpful to plan our financial future. So we're starting with some key terms. The future value of a single deposit. We've actually been finding the future value of a single deposit. When this says if you deposit $1,000 now at 10% interest, how much money will you have in 30 years if it's compounded quarterly? We know how to plug that in the formula and find our ending balance, right? So that's what we're talking about. The balance of an account will grow to when only one deposit is made. So 16, Anita. If you see that they're depositing in the problem, if you see that they say you're depositing every year, or each year, or every month, or every quarter, or twice a year, that means it's a periodic investment. It has to be the same value and the same period of time. So every month, $500. Every 6 months, $750. If that would be like a repeating deposit. So that is the same deposit made at regular intervals. And one of the clues here is yearly, monthly, weekly, or even the word each. Each year, each month, each day. We won't have days probably with that. So that periodic investment just refers to an investment that's a same amount that you make multiple times at periodic set intervals. The next one says future value of a periodic deposit investment. So now, if we're depositing the same amount at periodic intervals, we should be able to predict how much money we'll have based on the interest rate and the amount of time that passes in the future, right? So we can pick 30 years, or 15 years, or 10 years, or 5 years. Make sense? The future value of a periodic deposit investment and the balance in account will grow to based on investments made at regular intervals. Michael, when you get done right before the bell rings, let me look at your phone, I'll show you so we can figure out how to use it. I don't mind coming into work, but I like to try to use it late, okay? So if you're done, look at the two formulas on your bottom right-hand corner. One of them that was on the left, that's what we've been using, compounding, the compound interest formula, that's the one we've been using. And they've got it titled, the future value of a single deposit. And that would be one where it's compounding over at a certain number of times a year. The other formula, this is the new one. So you'll see we have the same variables here. It is a different formula, right? Fortunately, we have a calculator that will do this math for us, right? But we still need the beginning amount, we still need the root of the decimal, we still need the number of compounding periods, we still need the number of times, the years, sorry, the time in and out, the number of years are part of the year. Yes? On your test, what do you get to use, Rashad? Now, in the midterm, you're going to have to make your own notes from the notes I've given you all semester. So I'm going to have you bring your notes, which we're doing for the midterm, and you'll make up your own note sheet. So I definitely say that's what one of the things I would be putting in there would be the formulas. Sam?
If you get an A and an A, you get the midterm.
So we're trying to decide that right now, Sam. I think typically in this course you don't have the option to exempt until the final, unless something changes. That's how it'll be. Ayana? When is the midterm? I don't know. It's the week that school, we're out on the 20th of December. I do know that. Okay. So typically the 3 days before are exam days. So I don't know for sure, but okay. So here we have our first example. Suppose $600 is deposited into an account every quarter. That is our hint that this is a periodic investment, and then we have to know to use the formula that we just talked about. And that's this formula, right? You don't have to write it on there if you don't want to. I'm going to put it up here. Well, I'm trying to put it up here so you can see it. There you go. So it says if we deposit $600 every quarter, the account earns 5% interest compounded quarterly. What is the value of the account after 5 years? So once again, same variable that we've been working with, so we should all be able to find our A, P, R, N, and T. So let's everybody find our A, P, R, N, and T. And this is one of the things you need to show me to get credit for your problems on your homework. The A is the ending balance. That's what we're looking for. APRNT. Clinton, you got your APRNT right? Clinton, why didn't you show your earbuds in, buddy? I've asked a couple times for you guys to take those out. Thank you. Hey, I have no question for the end. Is that going to be so the N is the number of times it's compounded in a year. Right? So how many times is this going to be compounded in a year? What's the word that tells us up there that? Quarterly, yes. Steve, how many?
4.
4. So you've not filled this part in. That should have been the easy part for you. So now we're going to take those values and plug them into our new formula. periodic, future value of a periodic deposit formula. P goes here, R goes here and here, N goes here, here, and here, and T goes there. So go ahead and try to plug them in. I'm going to uncover it and let you see. They are brackets, but I will tell you we're going to use just two pairs of parentheses. We're not going to use brackets because your calculator doesn't have brackets, it only has parentheses. You can write brackets if you want. Just know when you enter in your calculator. I'm actually going to show you the keystrokes in the calculator because it's kind of a booger bear. There's quite a few ways to do it if you know the order of operations. But I tried to come up with a way for you to be able to enter as closely to the formula as it looks. So, if you have plugged in, this is what yours should look like, except for we don't want this, I don't want you to have this parentheses here or this last one here. So this is what it should look like. In order for you to get credit for these problems, you have to have this, you have to have this, and you have to have the answer. I'm going to go ahead and show you the answer. So the value of $600, if you deposit $600 quarterly, that's 4 times a year for 5 years, that's 20 deposits, right? How much will it be worth? At 5% interest, it will be worth $13,537.79. Sounds like a lot, but remember, part of that, that's not all interest, right? That's not all money you've earned. A lot of that you put in yourself. What about trading? Did everybody plug it in correctly on your notes? All right, so once again, if you have a way that you prefer, make sure you get the right answer every time, and I'll tell you this way works. These are the calculator strips. I'm going to start with 600, parentheses, left parentheses, left parentheses. 1 plus 0.05 divided by 4. Close that set of parentheses. Now our exponent button, left parentheses, 4 times 5, close those parentheses, minus 1, close our parentheses, and equal. So here's the thing to check for when you put it in the calculator. I've got 3 left parentheses here. I should have 3 right parentheses as well. Does that make sense? Now we're not done. Hit equal. Now you're going to do divide. Now we're going to do the denominator. Left parentheses, 0.05, divide by 4, right parentheses, and you have to hit the equals button. So these two, you have to do. What'd you get? Did you get $13,537.79? So clear it out and try it again. You get it? Don't see on your calculator. I don't know. Wait, yes, I do. Anybody need help getting it on your calculator correctly? I am going to post the calculator strokes to remind everything is always more payout, I think, second period. As far as the calculator, figuring out how to enter these things from the calculator. Because sometimes the calculator will do the order of operations for you, but sometimes it won't, so you got to figure out how to enter it and so do the order of operations correctly. No, not yet. We're going to finish our next step. This one's on version 2, right? Any questions on this one? Did you get it? All right. So now, Rich and Laura are both 45 years old. This is very similar. They open an account with the hope that we'll gain enough interest by the time they retire at $65. They deposit $5,000 each year. That's your hint now that it's a periodic deposit. You can have these things written on your notes. It tells us that they pay 4.5% compounded annually. What is the account balance when they retire? So the tricky part here is, what is your T? Is it 45? Is it 65? What's your T? It's 20. How'd you get it, Miss Ab? Yeah, if they're starting now and they're 45, when they want it to be at the end of that period of time, it would be 20 years. So you guys go ahead and fill in your A, P, R, N, and T. Once you've done that, then plug it into the formula. Yeah, I do want you to plug it in, but when you put it in the calculator, you don't put it in. Anything times one is that number, and anything divided one is that number, but I want to see it in your formula. Right, so you mean the simplicities. Yeah. All right, remember, this is the formula you're plugging into here. So once you have your A, your P, your R, your N, your T, go ahead and plug it into this formula. So 4.5, remember you divide by 100, that gives you your rate, drop the percent. Compounded annually, that tells us what our N's going to be. What's our N going to be, Colby? What's our N going to be? Very good. So that is what you should have filled out for your A, P, R, N, and T. So now we're plugging those values in for the variables in this new formula. You got it plugged in? Sorry? Because it compounds annually. So your N represents the number of times the investment compounds in a year. So annually means once. If it were weekly, it would be 52 times. If it were monthly, it would be 12 times, right? You already got it plugged in, Ayana? All right. So this is what it should look like. Did you plug things in correctly? Sorry? You're checking to make sure you have it plugged, everything's plugged in correctly. What's that? Well, you were trying to follow along. I'll give you that. I'll come watch you. I completely understand, because in second period, I kept getting it too, because I was doing it wrong. I mean, I'm just making an error on my keystrokes when I think I've entered enough parentheses I hadn't. Two of them. Yep. Now, that's divided by 1, so you don't have to worry about that, just close your parentheses. Now do your X bar button. 1 from 20 to 20, so you don't have to, you just do 20. Now minus 1. And you have to hit equals. Let's make sure you get all the setting wrong. Alright, so 5,000 plus 0.045, what is it? Exponent, 20 minus 1, so it's equal.
What?
Okay, divide by 0.045 equals. Okay? I'm not exactly sure what you did. I don't know. Probably the wrong number for this thing. And also, I tried it without that equal sign there. You have to have the equal sign in both spots.
There's no way I got this right.
Yes. Can I see yours? I think so. So let's try again. So they're at 310. The price, right? Super.
How's that cheap?
Because we are, so here, we are finding this is going to be raised to that, and we're subtracting one, so we're starting here, this is subtracting one, this part is parentheses, so that is equal.
No way I got this right.
So the calculator stroke, let me uncover the answer so you guys get it right. I got it right.
Oh, you got it?
All of them got it right.
Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it.
All right, so I'll put the calculator stroke up again. This is a little bit different because if you divide and multiply by 1, you don't have to put that on the calculator, right?
Wait, what?
If you divide and multiply by 1, it doesn't change the value. There's no sense in typing in 2045 divided by 1, right?
Oh, wait.
Yep.
Sorry, 95.
You get it?
No.
Okay, 95.
You were talking about using words.
It says arrow.
So you're doing it wrong.
That's why I'm getting it. That makes more sense.
You're doing it wrong.
All right, so now caret and 20, because 1 times 20 is just 20, minus 1, close that parentheses, and equal. Now the denominator, we're going to divide by, we would take parentheses if we're dividing, but it's just 0.045, and equal. So go ahead and do number 3. Do you want to do number 3? Go ahead and do number 3, your A, your P, your R, your N, your P. Unless you need help with this one, raise your hand. I'm ready to help you. I know it's hard at first. You figure it out 3 times. You know, you start faster. 2 less parentheses. 9 plus. 0.045. And the right parentheses.
Come on.
Excellent button. 20. Minus 1. And the right parentheses. And equal. Now, divide. 0.045 equals. Woohoo! I swear I was doing that second period, and I don't think, I was doing it right intermittently in second period. I guess I must not have been pressing the equals at the right spot or something. Anyway, I completely understand your frustration.
Do you know?
Because this is only 5%, it's always the rate of the decimal, so take that 5 and divide by 100, and gives you 0.05. This rate is 3.6, so you divide 3.6 by 100, and that gives you 0.036. Not 45, 0.036. You're on the wrong problem, sweetheart. You're doing number 3, this is on number 2. You haven't done number 3 yet. Hold on, let me push. Sorry? Are you telling me? Divided by, so the monthly is 12, right? How many months are there in a year? That's your hint. So when you want to know, when it says monthly, that's your hint that that's the number of times it's compounding in a year, but monthly doesn't say 12. You have to remember that there's 12 months in a year. That's why the end is 12 for monthly. If it is quarterly, 4 quarters, if it's 4 times, okay? Yes? Alright, hold on, let's first finish with this one. Alright, so right now, periodic, compounded monthly, $1,200 every month. We are going to have our compounded and our periodic payments happen at the same rate monthly. If this is monthly, that will be monthly, and after 10 years. Alright, I'll show you. I think it is. I'm going to find it. Not divide by. Okay, so let's make sure everybody's got the first part correct. So everybody should be able to get that right? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Everybody plug in correctly? Okay. Now, if you didn't get this, I'm going to put the calculator strokes up here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. So, for the calculator, 1,200 less parentheses, 1 plus 0.036 divided by, remember the fraction part is divided by 12. And we can close these parentheses and then hit our exponent button. And then we're going to do less parentheses because we're doing this 12 times 10 now. Close your parentheses. Minus 1. Close our parentheses. I think that's what I kept messing up. I kept forgetting to close those. And equal. Now that's the numerator. And we're going to divide by, that big fraction mark means to divide. Less parentheses, 0.036. Divide by 12. Right parentheses and equal. You're going to round to the nearest cent, right? Because it's money. So how would you read this? 137,000? I mean, 172? It's not understanding. I can't see. Okay. Anybody still struggling with putting it in your calculator? Okay, so now we have a little less than 10 minutes. I want you to try. You only have 4 problems. Where's your problem? Only know you start to do. Good job, Colby. So those are tomorrow. We're not doing all of our notes today. We did 5-7 today. The front of this worksheet, 1 through 4, that's your only thing you're responsible for tonight. We're not turning it in tonight. Only do the front side. We're not turning it in tonight. I don't have it published yet. I'll publish it and we'll turn all of the notes in tomorrow when we're done taking the notes. And you'll turn the worksheet in, both sides, when you're done with the back side after tomorrow's notes. The front side is from the notes we did today. The back side is from the notes we do tomorrow. You're only doing 1 through 4 tonight. And there is no place to turn it in. Okay? Not right now. We'll turn the notes in. And when we finish our notes tomorrow in class, You'll turn your worksheet in when you finish the back side of the worksheet after we do the notes tomorrow. All right, so please go ahead and get started. It's not free time.